You're in the program, Mr. Kakoulides Speaks His Mind. And today I wish to talk about the problem we have with the Social Security Administration, SSI or SSA administration. They tell you to report that if you start working, or your wages increases or decreases, or that your bank account goes more than $2,000, or if you get married, and they tell you there won't be no changes if you report these things. It won't affect your SSI. And guess what? It does affect your SSI. You find out, well, let's say I'm married, I get SSI, my wife gets SSI, and right now the paycheck is $841, right? I'm not married. My wife passed away, but I'm just saying, I'm going to use an example. Let's say I get SSI, and I get married with a lady that gets SSI. What happens? If we report it, because we're told that you have to report it, and they tell you it won't affect your SSI payment, guess what happens? From me getting $141, I end up getting $420. My check is cut in half, and her check is cut in half, so the two of us are forced to live off of one check. This is why many people do not report when they get married. And let's say if I save up some money and it goes over $2,000, SSI finds about it, I'll have problems with the SSI. I have to report that. You cannot prosper with SSI. It's intended to keep you poor. Let's say if I decide to get a side job, a part-time job, they'll say, oh, he could work. How much are you getting paid in your job? So they'll discount it from your SSI check. You can't work to get paid. You have to volunteer. If you volunteer, it's not a problem because you're not getting paid. But if you start getting paid, they'll start taking out from your SSI check. So you cannot be honest with them. You have to lie to them to survive in the SSI system. It's just like when in Exodus chapter 1, the woman that helped to give labor, help the woman give labor in Israel, they had to lie to Pharaoh so the Israelites male could survive. The housewives, I think it was called housemaid, the woman that would help give labor, they had to lie so the Israelites will survive, the male child will survive. And this is what we see in the SSI system. You can't be honest with the government. And that is a shame. The government does not want people to prosper. And America won't prosper that way. Because the poor will stay poor. And that is so sad. And there are people that are struggling, especially with the rent now being raised. And this is part of the government. And this is so wrong. And this is why God is striking this nation, because of what they're doing to the poor. Oh, if I want to prosper, I can't prosper. I have to stay in my down low. I can't have a bank account that goes up more than $2,000. Otherwise, I'll have problems with the SSI. If I put my money in the bank, it's supposed to grow. It's supposed to help me. And eventually, it should prosper me to the point that I won't need SSI any longer. But no, the government wants you dependent on it so you can stay poor. And trust me, there's ways of getting around it. You have to save money in your house. You get married, you don't report it. Is it a sin not to report it? I don't think so. It's a sin because the government is seeking your downfall, is seeking to destroy you. It's like if you're hiding a Jew and it's the time of Nazi. If you tell them, there's no Jew in my house, what happens? You're saving a life. In your case, you're saving yourself. You're saving your marriage. You're saving your life. So if you lie to the government about these things, it's not a sin. You're saving your family. You're saving yourself. It's like Rahab when she hid the slaves and she told them to go another way. Rahab saved them. And you have to save your life, and you have to save your family. You have to eat. You have to pay your rent. The government does not care about you. Anyway, that's my 2 cents for today. Lord bless you, and I'll talk to you about what's wrong with America and what's in my mind in the next program. Bye.